Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the First Click Show here on First Clicks. Today there's a lot to get into, but before we get started, at the end of the video, there's something I want to talk to you about. Some changes to this series that are coming up, but more on that at the end of the video. For now, let's just click straight into this one because there is a lot. Okay, and today's first story is coming in from Mac Rumors. Mac Rumors is reporting on Apple actually launching a new initiative for Today at Apple. We're talking about Creative Studios, a initiative by Apple that is probably going to help loads of people around the world with getting the tools necessary to create the art and the content that they want to get into. Apple today announced an expansion of its Today at Apple program with a new Creative Studios initiative that will provide career building mentorship, professional industry skills training, creative resources, and access to Apple's full lineup of products like iPhone, iPad, and Mac to underrepresented communities around the world. Now, this is definitely a very, very huge step for Apple. And it's definitely really cool to see that this company is working so hard to give many more people the possibility to actually work on something like a YouTube channel or anything else creative that you can think of. It is going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see what all these new creators are going to do with it. Creative Studios will launch first in LA, Beijing, followed by Bangkok, London, Chicago, and Washington DC later this year. In each city, Apple said it will work hand in hand with non-profit community organizations to connect youth to mentors and established artists such as Grammy Award-winning producer Lawrence Dobson. Creative Studios programming will revolve around creative areas such as music, film, photography, art, and design, and will be available to young people who face barriers to meaningful artistic education. An 8 to 5 week curriculum will provide hands-on sessions, insider industry knowledge, and ongoing feedback from mentors. So these are huge cities, and these non-profit organizations can definitely use Apple's help. Again, I can't wait to see what these new creators are going to do with all these tools. It's definitely exciting to hear about this. And you can register today for free on Apple's website. Definitely look at the link down below, and also check out this article, obviously also in the description down below. And today's second story is coming in from iMore. iMore is actually reporting on TSMC probably favoring Apple in terms of chip production orders. Apple and car makers are set to be at the front of the queue for chips made by TSMC, according to a new report. This as a global semiconductor shortage continues to hamper the production of chips. According to a new DigiTimes report, TSMC has decided that it will prioritize Apple and car makers ahead of those who make PCs, servers, and networking devices. Now, this is obviously great news for everyone that is waiting on these new M1X MacBook Pros. We hope we're going to see them at the end of the year, and with TSMC obviously prioritizing Apple, it is going to be mint. Front page tech coming in with a report on the iPhone 13, or is it the iPhone 12s? Here is a rundown of the report if you ain't got time for many words, and few words will do the trick. iPhone 12s, not iPhone 12. Yes, smaller notch is happening. 120Hz coming to Pro models. LiDAR to remain an exclusive feature for Pro models. 4 new models, including another mini device. Same storage options as iPhone 12 lineup. All 4 models getting sensor shift image stabilization. Pricing will stay the same. Now, we are actually not far away from this iPhone 12s launch, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the Apple Watch. I am definitely excited for this event, but I am just a little bit more excited for the M1X MacBook Pro. And then for the story we all came here for, or actually 2 stories, 9to5Mac coming in with a report on Ming-Chi and what he has to say about the iPhone lineup 2022. So let's start with the iPhone SE. According to Ming-Chi, we can expect a new iPhone SE to come in 2022 with a new 5G model. A new report from reliable Apple analyst Ming-Chi today reiterated expectations for the next-gen iPhone SE. Kuo believes the 2 biggest upgrades will be 5G and an upgraded processor, with the new entry-level iPhone coming in the first half of 2022. Now, this is awesome, right? Since the iPhone SE is fairly popular, I am definitely curious to see how this is going to work, because I feel like most people with the iPhone SE really like Touch ID. But for those people, we have some special news as well. Because in another report on Ming-Chi, 9to5Mac is actually saying that the iPhone lineup in 2022 could include iPhones with an under-display fingerprint scanner. Ming-Chi is out with another investor note in which he doubles down on his expectation for an all-new flagship iPhone lineup in the second half of 2022. The analyst says Apple will launch 2 low-end 6.1-inch and 6.7-inch flagships alongside 2 high-end 6.1-inch and 6.7-inch flagships. So this could mean that again we're going to get 4 iPhones. That is, wow, that's a lot. I mean, we're also going to get the iPhone SE, so in that year it will probably be 5 iPhones. That's mental. I mean, it's raining iPhones. It's raining iPhones, boys. It's raining iPhones. Hallelujah, it's raining iPhones. Hallelujah, it's... Okay, sorry. The 2022 iPhone lineup could look like this in terms of marketing names. iPhone 14, iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, I don't understand why they would call the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 14 iPhone 14. I would say iPhone 14 something plus, iPhone 14. Like, you can't just have 2 iPhone 14s. Like, am I crazy? Is this a hot take? We reiterate our previous key specification forecast for the second half 2022 iPhone models, namely that Apple will launch 2 high-end iPhones and 2 low-end iPhones. We believe the growth drivers for the new second half 2022 iPhones will come from 1. The potential for under-display fingerprint support using Apple's own technology. 2. The lowest price ever for a large 6.7-inch iPhone. We expect it to be under $900 and 3. A wide camera upgrade to 48 megapixel for high-end models. I mean, that is absolutely wild, I'm not gonna lie. That is going to be an insane camera. I mean, 2-step verification with like Touch ID and Face ID is definitely great. And I can already tell that Apple has been testing this for such a long time, since most competitors already have this for a really long time. So Apple must be testing this for a really long time, and I can't wait to see how much better it's going to be. Now, this does unfortunately mean that there won't be, or at least according to these rumors, a iPhone mini. I suspect that this is because of the iPhone SE that will be launched in the first half of 2022, according to Ming-Chi. I'm not sure if people will be interested in another iPhone mini after having a iPhone SE being launched like in the beginning of the year. Now, obviously, Apple will have more data on that, and that is probably why, if this is true, Apple won't release an iPhone mini in that year. Guys, this was the news for today. There's so much to talk about. I can completely understand that this episode was really long, but definitely look in the description down below for all the links to the articles so you can read them at your own pace and in full context. And obviously, on the last note of this episode, I wanted to inform you guys of some changes that are coming to this channel. From today, this episode actually. We're going to reduce the amount of renders that we are using from actually outside sources that are based on, for example, schematics and official data that isn't released to the public. So, for example, if something has not been released yet and someone saw the device, someone has access to someone who has the device, but it isn't released to the public at all, and they use that knowledge to make a full render, we are going to try and limit the amount of times we are showing it here on the channel to avoid spoilers and give you the best experience in terms of watching the actual event, the actual official announcement. Now, obviously, these bigger channels will give you enough reason to tune in and see it as well. So if that is something you decide to do, definitely do that. We will still report on the actual news and give you the latest news. Obviously read out what we have learned, but we will try and limit the amount of things we show and obviously still give you the latest news without spoiling every single detail about it. For now, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys click on.